Hi everyone and welcome to Module 2. This module was on how to create social media posts in Canva. Now hopefully you've had a little chance to look around Canva and you haven't been caught up with the enormous amount of information that's there, but you've managed to just focus on one simple task that you wanted to practice and master as we go through these free Canva trainings. So what I wanted to do in this particular module is just keep it short and just focus on social media posts. And in the next module, I'll actually break it down a little bit further and actually show you how to create your own quotes. Because you might find that in a lot of social media posts, you normally try and break up just sharing your products and sharing your life story, and you might like sharing some inspirational quotes as well. So I just wanted to show you my particular Instagram account. I've got two. I've got a private one and I've got a business one. And the business one I set up really with a strategy, and the strategy was to make it look as clean and neat as possible. And because I was going through a pink phase, I decided to brand it pink. So all of these assets I'm going to show you now are things that I've created. So I'll just start at the top so you can have a little look. And coming up in future modules, I'll also show you how to create these really cool highlights for your Instagram accounts. But for now, just want to scroll and show you how I've actually tried as best I can to keep a theme, or I guess a brand in some ways. And you'll notice there are different quotes and there are just some visual images to break it up along the way. Another thing that I'm going to show you in future modules is also how to create these really cool Instagram grids, like the one you're seeing here that says focus on your goals. So I'll just take you a little bit further just so you can have a look. I love photos, and so that's why this one of the beautiful cocktail made of fairy floss. I was drooling when I posted that. So again, I try to create a feed that is pleasurable for me to look at, and obviously hope that other people enjoy looking at it as well. You'll notice here I've got one of my workshops that's coming up in the future called Show Me the Money, and so I've created a particular graphic for that particular program. But you'll notice I don't have a lot of posts about my products and services. I utilize information in the actual content part of the post for that. So I'll just show you a little bit more, and pretty well that is my feed. Now, just want to show you something that people have been asking me about, because a lot of people want to start afresh with maybe keeping the exact same Instagram account, but also freshening it up a bit. So you'll notice up here, it says I've got 108 posts on Instagram. But if you were to scroll through and count what I've actually got there currently, you'd probably only find about 60, because a cool little trick that I do is, if I find that I don't like the look of my feed as it goes, and I haven't necessarily got a lot of positive insights or analytics from that particular post, I'll actually go and archive it. So there is an archive feature within Instagram, and I'll show you a tutorial about that later on. But for now, you can see that that's my Instagram feed. My personal one is not as clean and as nice as this one, and that's because I've been using that one for a lot longer, and I didn't really brand it as much because I post a lot more personal information on that other Instagram account. So I just want to show you again just the same thing on Pinterest. Very similar theme, branding, it's all pink. And so what I normally do is I then go and basically add them to my Pinterest account as well. I'm not using Twitter as much at the moment because I lost one of my accounts, but I'll get back to that. But you'll even notice here I've got this really cool infographic that I created right in the middle here on Canva as well. So there's so many things that you can create. So all of these, every single post I created, nothing has been taken from anywhere else. There might be some photos that I've used, but ultimately all of these have all been created by me. And as you can see, I've branded a lot of them with little URL tags on the bottom so that people can just type that URL in and go straight to either the link of that product or my website. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of an idea on the uniformity that you can end up with. And no matter where you're at in your particular social media feed, particularly those like Pinterest and Instagram that actually show up quite like in a sequence, you will be able to improve it if you're not happy with it right at the very moment. So let's now go straight into having a look and creating a social media post. As we said before, these are all of the different types of designs that you can use. I want to show you how quickly I created this one a moment ago, just so that you can have a look. But what I just also want to show you is one of the really cool things that Canva provides, which when I used Photoshop wasn't as easy to use, is that Canva actually has all of these particular topic areas already sized up for you. So if you look at a presentation, for instance, which is what I use a lot for when I do my PowerPoint presentations, it already has the size of 1920 by 1080 pixels. So a Facebook post is 940 by 788 pixels. An Instagram post, so basically if you hover over each one of these, it actually shows you the exact pixels per and size per item. Now, the reason that's really great is that you don't have to go and look for sizing. So if this Instagram post you created on Instagram, on Canva, you put it onto Instagram, it'll line up perfectly within their sizing requirements. Whereas in the past, a lot of times you'd have to, basically crop some of your images and it really would get messy. So just remember that if you actually hover over each individual topic area, you will notice that there is a sizing. So for instance, if you wanted to go and design a business card, you'd be sure that you check that the 8.5 by 5 centimeters is what you wanted. Okay, so let's just have a little play, and we might do a Facebook post this time so that you can have a look and show you some of the, tips that are important to understand when we are going through creating different posts. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a blank piece here, a blank canvas, and we're going to work on that particular canvas so that you can then be able to observe some of the really nice things that you can do. So this is a blank canvas, and you've got a range of different already created templates you can use here. So again, as I showed you last time, if you wanted to, for instance, use one of those, you would click it and it would go there. But we're not going to do that for this particular exercise. So we're going to delete that. We're going to we'll just delete it totally, and we'll go to a new page. So we've got a blank page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at closing this. Let's have a look at some backgrounds. If we might want to put a background and see how that particular background might look. So for instance, you might want to put a background. Now, if it is a background, if it's listed as a background, as soon as you press it, it will go across the background. I'll do one a bit clearer so you can see how. So you can see how that automatically fills the entire background. So background is the only particular field that does that. So if I was to go and change the background here, it changes it and puts it and fills it in within the exact sizing of this particular page. I want to show you in a moment that when you actually add a photo, it does not do the same thing. We have to use something called an element. But again, I just want to show you how you add a background. Just click on the photo that you want, or the image that you want. Sorry, this is a background image, and you can scroll through. Now, there are many that are free, enormous amount that are free. And as I said, again, make sure that if you notice there's a dollar sign there, you decide whether you want that, because there are so many free ones that you often don't need to purchase those particular images. So you add whatever background you want. But in this particular instance, as I said, we are going to start with a blank canvas because I want to show you how you can actually add some elements. So an element is what I would call, for instance, a border, or a way to be able to have an image placed into an exact spot. So let me give you an example. There's a frame here. So all of these are elements. There's lots of different gadgets and stickers and things we're going to show you in future modules. But at the moment, let's just look at the grids, the shapes, and the frames. If I was to press on this little frame here, it'll come up in a particular size on my sheet. If I want to change the size, I can grab any corner. You see that? Change the size. But I'm just going to leave it really large so you can see it at the moment. And so at the moment, that's really it's a blank canvas, but I want to change the color. So if you come up here to the top, you can notice and see the words color. And if I click that, I can choose a range of colors that are already here. Or if you already have a color, a branded color, you can pop it in there. But I'm just going to choose this pink. But whoa, it is a bit too bright for me. So then I'm going to go up to this little cross here. So you notice a little cross. So I've chosen a color pink. I go up to this little cross, and then I can make the color. I can drag it along and make it the color I want to. So at the moment, I'm just going to choose this lighter pink. Okay, so do you see what I did there? I basically clicked the little cross here, and I could take it to whatever color I want to. But I'm just going to keep it around about there. Now, if I want to remember this exact color, I could copy this particular color, the number sequence, and put it into a notepad. But what will happen is that because I've just recently used this color, it'll actually stay in my recently used colors in a moment. Okay, so at the moment we've got this. Okay, so we've got a ball. Now, if we didn't want to put a color in, say for instance, I wanted to put a photo into an element. So I'll just move this along here for a moment and put it up there. And say I wanted to put a photo into something, but I didn't want it to go across the whole back. What I do is I can change the size of where I want the photo to be, or what size I want it to be. So remember, if I use a background, it actually automatically fits into the entire screen. But if I want a photo to go into a specific area, I will actually go to a photo here. I've got a free photo here. I'll grab the photo and I'll drag it into that particular box. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of it because I want to show you what happens if I don't drag it into this particular element. Okay, so at the moment I've created an element. If I don't create an element or a box to put it into, it'll go straight into the background. Okay, so see how it went straight into the background, just like the background photos do. And so if you want your photo to go into a specific area, not into the entire background, you basically make sure that you've got something that you want to go into. So this, in a sense, is really a bordered area. So that photo will sit just in there exactly the way you want it. And you can still do the same thing. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, you can do all sorts of weird and wacky things with it. Okay, so we'll just play around again. I'm just going to delete that particular element, and I'm going to go to another element. Let's have a look at some of these. These are some of my favorites here. You might find that a lot of people have been putting their photos or their books or things into some of the things that look like a TV or say a mobile phone. So you can have a mobile phone here, and if you've got a photo of yourself, you can upload a photo. I'll show you to do that in the next module. But at the moment, we're just going to take a photo from here, me and my beach themes, I can't help it, and I'm going to drag it into that particular phone case. Okay, so you can see how you really can design some really cool products by using some of these particular elements. So at the moment, we're just going to get rid of that pink circle, and I'm just going to put this over here. And now we're just going to add a few words, just some basic words. So we go over to the left here where it says text, and we press text, and there's a combination of fonts that you can choose from. So these font combinations are already set, and so they are all grouped together. So if you press it, you will find that the words have already been grouped together and they are set, and you can just type into that particular area, the holiday or whatever you want to write, and it's grouped. So then basically, the holiday coming your way. Me on holidays, that's my theme at the moment. So you can use an existing combination of fonts here, or if you want to, you can actually add some different fonts along the way. Now, there are some basic branding styles you can use in the free version. So for instance, here there's a heading, and the font is here. You can see the fonts are Able Fat Face, and you can go through and you'll notice a whole different range of fonts that are free for you to use. If they have a little gold crown, that means they're not available. They're only available in the Pro version, but there are so many fonts here. So for instance, I want to change that one to Advent Pro Medium. So I just press it and it will change that particular sentence into the Pro Medium font. So I'm going to just write Trudy Vesotsky, and because I don't want to go to the trouble of having to repeat everything, I'm going to use the tool here at the top right called Duplicate, and it duplicates what I've done before. So anything that you press on and you notice that the 4 little balls come up in the corners here, you can duplicate that exact same scene. So at the moment we just want one phone, but what I want to do is I'm going to write my web address here, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to drag it and put it under there. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what else can I do? I might go and look at some elements and see if I can find myself a really nice, let's just do a blue flower, okay? So remembering that some of the items are going to have a $sign or a cost next to it, but I'm going to choose something that's free, and I'm just going to choose that blue one. And as you can notice up here, some of the colors allow you to add your different colors. So you can see here the flower is blue, and the little piece here is an orange color. I prefer the pink. And so I'm just going to pop that up here, and the stem is white, but I want it to be green. So you can see how I'm just going to attach it there. And so in a very quick time, we've come up with something that's very basic to use, a basic Facebook post. Okay, so let's delete all of this and start again, because I want to show you how easy it is to create a different type of post. So we've done a Facebook one, we've done an Instagram one, and let's move along here and have a little look at the Pinterest graphic. Okay, so we've got a Pinterest graphic here. And again, you can go through and choose one of the existing graphics. You also want to notice that there are particular topical areas. So this was a food Pinterest graphic, a wedding graphic, birthday graphics, all graphics. So you can go through and find anything that you like, but you can make some changes to anything from these particular what we call template graphics. So if you were to put that there, and again, you'll notice that the background actually has a Canva watermark. So remember what I said before, to remove the watermark, you can either press delete up here on the right, or you just press delete. And you can then grab an existing box or element. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to make it into the size that I want. And then I'm going to fill that particular area with a photo, and that's just a photo. I'm going to change this particular color, So anything that has an existing colour you can change, other than photos. You can do some really nice, I guess, modifications to the photos with brightening and some other different tones. But again, we'll do that more in an advanced session. At the moment here, you're looking at this plum colour, remembering that my theme is pink. So I'm going to change it to a lighter pink. And then I go, oh, no, I don't really like that particular image. So I'll go up here and I'll go, oh, you know, I might find a pink background. So there's colour, there's bold, well, basically a full colour at the top here of different backgrounds you can have if you want a full colour. But I don't want a full colour. So you can just go up here and do undo. But if I scroll down here, I'll be able to find really nice pink background that I like. I might even just do that, and I'm going to put it as a background, and I'm then going to add another photo. And let's see if we've got any free pink photos. I may not have any free photos. Okay, well, if you scrolled and wrote in here different words, you'd find there's a lot more photos. But what I'll do is gives you an opportunity to show you how to load your own photo to put into this particular area. So you go to uploads, which is here on the left. And I've already uploaded some photos in here from before, but otherwise you would go upload an image and you would take it from wherever you already had some images that were already placed there, and you would basically click your image and it uploads it, and then you would put it wherever you want to put it. But at the moment I've uploaded some here to make the process quicker, so I'll just grab that and I actually put it straight into that. So 5 fun suggestions for a successful 2020. Okay, and down here, again, change the colour up the top. Up here, we've got the font colour. The text colour is up the top, and I'm going to change it to white. And I'm going to make it a little bit larger. And I'm going to change it to, I'll just change it to that font. So again, I'm not trying to make this look really pretty. I've created a lot of really pretty ones, but I'm just trying to show you some of the diverse different techniques that you can use. So again, just my name. And to make it a little bit cool, I guess what I'll do is I might add another a line. So what I'm doing is I'm adding just remembering these things here move up and down, so you can change it. And I'm thinking, because I want my name to stand out, at the moment I've got a block there or a template, but what I want to do is I actually want to make it pink so that it sort of stands out a little bit from the rest. So you can see how with just a little bit of playing around, you can come up with some really great ways to use Canva to create some posts for your social media. So at the top here, you can save the copy, or you can make exactly the same copy and then change it. A lot of you might be wanting to use exactly the same template, like I did with a lot of my posts and quotes, where I use the very same background and all I do is I change the wording on it. But otherwise, you go back to the start of your Canva front page, and you'll notice that the things that I've created here are in my design page, and the one that we just created here together is sitting and it's just generating ready for me to be able to refer back to that in the future. Okay, so I didn't download it, but normally you would download it straight to your computer. So that's module 2 on how to create a social media post. And I look forward to seeing you in the next module, where I actually take you through creating some quotes, and we'll show you some more of my quotes from the internet. Much love from me to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next module.